Hi everyone. So today for this expo we're talking about Slimline. So I have a couple of Slimlines I would like to show you that we've created, and then we will go ahead with the demo. So here is a cute little Valentine Slimline that we had, that we used our Slimline chevron dies, our card bases, and then just more of our dies. I wanted to show a video today that didn't have us doing any coloring. So in all of our samples we're going to show you, the 3 samples, they're just using dies and papers and that sort of thing. So this is our Cute Forever die, and I layered it 4 different colors with our banner die, and I just made this really simple classic colors of the red, white, and black for Valentine's. Another one that I created, and I like this one a lot, I don't know on camera if it shows how dimensional it is, but this is our polka dot slimline die, our scalloped edge die layered with our frame die. So that's 3 different slim die dies right on here, and I just love how the scallop kind of peeks under the frame and it gives it a little bit more femininity. So what I did on this one is I cut out my polka dots, and then one of our stamps has these little baby icons, our Annie special delivery stamp. So I stamped them into the circles and just did coloring on those to make a cute little background. And then this is our You Are So Loved die that I matted 3 different times, and I created this CAS, nice, clean, and simple Valentine card. And then the last one that I did was this shaker Valentine cards, and I tried to do it in traditional with a twist color as well. So I have, these are our brand new shaker bits that we are carrying, and I just pulled all the colors from that to make my stripes with my coordinating paper, and it just says We Just Fit. This is the demo. We are going to be making this one today with you. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing that we're going to need are some card bases. So we carry our own line of card bases. You get 10 in a pack with 10 envelopes. Our card bases are a little bit wider than what others might be, only because they fit our stamps a little bit better, and our stamps are about 3 inches, so we needed them to be a little bit wider than normal. You're also going to need our Shaker Basics. This is Shaker Basics Set 1. I know it says 2 on here, but it was packaged wrong. And we're going to be using our circle shaker frame and base. And then we have our banner dies. We're going to be using our banner for our sentiment. And then you can, these are some of our slimline dies that we carry. We have this really cute, this is the one we're going to be using today. It's our rectangle. This was our polka dot. This is just our slimline basic frame. And then we have that scallop one I mentioned, and then the chevron one, which was the one in the first example. So these are the different dies that you can be using when you're creating your cards. And I just wanted to show you that we don't always just do coloring videos, and we wanted to show you guys different ways of things that we can create. So I'm gonna go ahead, I already got my pieces all cut and prepped out to save some time for this demo. So here's my card base. I'm gonna set that aside. This is, not that piece. This is my shaker pieces I need, the base to my slimline, more parts to my shaker, and then I have these strips that we're gonna be using. Let's get the flaggy parts out to create our stripes. And then this is our heart puzzle die, and this die actually comes with 2 different sizes, a small heart and then the large heart. This is actually the small sized heart that I'm using, and it takes up a good section of our shaker, so you can just see how much our larger one would be. These are the new shaker book bits that we're going to be using, and then these are our really popular, they don't stay in stock very long. These are our jelly dots in Rosy Periwinkle. So we're gonna go ahead, and the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna start prepping parts of our shaker. Now, when I do shakers, you can use foam tape or you can use multiple layers for your chipboards and stuff. Let me zoom in here for you guys. Sorry. That's probably better. So when you can use foam tape, I'm not very good at the foam tape in a circle. I usually end up with gaps. But if I was using a square or a rectangle, I would probably just use the foam tape on that. But since this is a circle and I need to create that, that depth for my wall that we're going to be building, I just cut out extra circles in my chipboard so that I can make that into my wall instead. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Hold on, I need to open up my glue here. Okay, and so we're just going to take our extra pieces of chipboard and we're just going to stack and glue them all together. Now, how much do you, I'm using 4, if you're not sure, these are super, super flat and thin like a sheet of paper shaker bits. I have some that are chunkier in the shop, so it just depends on which shaker bits you're using to justify how thick you want your wall to be. But since mine are relatively flat, I don't have to go crazy making this super, super tall and thick. So I'm just gonna start creating the wall, and I'm gonna just layer one on top of the other. And because they're all cut from a die, they're all gonna lay perfectly nestled on top of one another. So that is one layer. And then we're gonna go ahead and add our second. And I just find that doing this is a lot quicker for me as well than using foam tape if I'm trying to do it with a circle, like I said. But when it's a straight line, I can put down foam tape in a straight line, but just not so great in the circle. So there's that. Now we're gonna do another layer here. And I'm just making sure they all line up and then making sure it's glued really well together. So that is our channel parts. And that needs to go down on a solid background. So this is the other part of our shaker. And our shaker basic die set has everything coordinating perfectly. They all fit well inside one another. They're pretty much foolproof in making shakers. And then we have add-on toppers for our shaker basics that you can change the fronts of them. This is just the basic circle. But we have a topper on here that will change this into a wreath for Christmas. We have a rectangle one that turns into a present. And they all coordinate beautifully with one another. So there is, this is your bottom half of your shaker. And now for your top, you need your frame and your acetate. And let me just clean that off really quick. And now we're going to adhere our acetate to our front window panel. And the most important part about knowing how to do shakers is just making sure that when you're putting down your wall and your frames or whatever, is that there's no gaps in between for your shaker bits to come out of. And I got a little bit of glue on my frame here. I can just wipe that up later. So here is my top frame that will go on top. I'm just gonna let this dry for a little bit. So we're gonna put this aside and we'll start creating the card part. So here is our rectangle frame from our die. And then I have pre-cut my little strips to fit in here. And I just want them to go in a specific order, so I know I want the light pink, and then medium, and then our hot pink, and then the turquoise, and then our blue, and then our pink again. And then these two are going to be covered by our circle, like in our example here. So these two panels here, I actually don't even have to bother gluing in there. So I'm just going to go ahead and start gluing these into my frame piece here. And we're just going to line them up enough that it just covers our section on the top side. And you know, let me get, like so. And we're just going to repeat these for all of these little channel windows that we're making here. So I'm just gonna, they hit on the side. So I'm just going to quickly go ahead and put these down like so. And then because we're using some liquid glue, we have that little bit of wiggle room. So super, super easy design concept that we're doing. But I think it gives a really nice look to the card, and it matches those cute little sprinkles that you're going to be adding. So we need turquoise is next, and then the dark blue. Ooh, that one turned upside down. So here we go there. And again, doesn't matter what your back side looks like, you just want your front side to be, and then we can always trim these little side pieces that are overhanging a little bit. Okay, and then we need this one to be pink, and we're almost done with our card here. Again, and all I did was when I cut out this die, obviously these pieces came out, so I knew what size they needed to be, and then I just extended them so that they would fall in the channels on the side so that the glue would be able to reach it. Just get this last one into place like so. And now we have the start of our card base. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to simply take this, and I am going to, well, I'm going to trim that, and then I'm just going to adhere it to the center of my card like so. So let me just get my scissors and cut these little pieces that are overhanging off from the side. This one too, over here. Oops. Just trying to get it in there a little bit so the overhang doesn't show. And ideally, if you use double-sided tape, you could do that as well. I want to cut this blue one down a little bit more, but I think it might be too stuck on there now. Well, it's not really showing, so we're okay. All right, so there is the frame again. So now I'm just going to take it And since I want my hearts over here, I know that I want my pattern going this way, so I want to make sure my card is opened to the right side. And now we're just going to add our adhesive. Again, you can even foam tape this on if you want to give it some dimension. And I'm just going to make sure I'm adding glue to the edges. Okay, now I'm going to take this and I'm just going to center this into my card base. And what I love is that the card bases come in that pack of 10 with the envelope, so I don't have to actually create my Slimline card. I already know that they're made for me, that I can save a little bit of time by just going ahead and starting my card. I love card bases. We put them in our grab-and-go boxes as well, because we just love that you can just kind of go right forward. So there is our card base. Okay. So then the next thing that we will be doing is we're going to take back that shaker part and we're going to go ahead and glue that. Now the shaker is exactly the same width as our card, which makes it really, really nice. So I don't even have to worry about trying to center it this way. So all I'm gonna do is I wanna center it, well, not center it, I wanna line it up, butt it up right close to that stitched mark on the side there. So just grab some glue. And it's just easier for me to do it going this way so that I can make sure it's lined up perfectly on my card, like so. Okay, so that's as easy it is getting that on there. And see, now those two stripes are hidden, so you don't have to worry about that. And then we're gonna grab that frame, and you just wanna make sure to clean it off from any, I always get the fibers from the chipboard on there. And then you're gonna take your little sprinkles. Again, I love these because the colors match perfectly, so your card will be nice and cohesive. And you can add as many or as few sprinkles as you want. You do get quite enough in your little purchase that you can make several shakers from one of the bags. I'm just lying them as flat as I can so that when I put my top on top, it's not gonna have any crazy chunky parts that I then, so I'm just layering them in a single layer as best as I can just for the initial gluing of the top piece on. I think that should be okay. All right, so then you're just gonna take your frame. I'm gonna put the glue down on here because the acetate is slippery when you put the glue on it. So just get a really good seal. Again, it's gonna line up perfectly because it's all coordinated dies. And then and our glue dries clear, so we don't have to worry. Some of it's seeped in there, but that'll be okay. I just won't shake it, so we don't want a shaker to be stuck on there. So that is, oh, one escaped. Okay, so then we still have our hearts to do, and then our sentiments. So we have, in my original one, I just had the We Fit, but then I also thought it would be cute to add a double tag, maybe that We Fit, and then I Love You, because this, again, it's not the most traditional in colors for Valentine's, and that's what I like about it. but we want it to be a Valentine's card, so that's why I figured the I love you could be cute on there. So I'm just taking, oh, the banner dies. Really quick, let me show you something really, really fun and cool about these banner dies. So the banner dies comes with 4 different styles. You have the fishtail, the slanted, the pendant, and another fishtail, but this one has an arrow on it. And then each solid piece comes with 2 covers. So you have a decorative cover on each of them, and then you have a border cover on each of them. But what is really, really cool that I love about them is, so they layer obviously, but what I love about especially the one that is the frame, when you're trying to do the frame one, sometimes you have sentiments that are smaller. And actually, so if I use this alone without a frame, you can see there's like a big gap on there. And sometimes it just doesn't work well. That's why we created the little frame, so it kind of grounds it a little bit. But what's also great is when you cut out your frame for your banner, you also get this really amazing tiny little inner cut. And that one would work really perfect. Also, if you didn't want to do a frame one, you can cut your sentiment using this, but it would only cut on the inside, and then you get that skinnier little banner die. So it's almost like you're getting 4 extra in here from these inside pieces, and they work really, really well, like I said, for those smaller sentiments or those skinnier sentiments. So that's why we love our banner dies as much as we do as well. Okay, so sorry, rambled. Let me go back. Now we're gonna do our frame, and we're just gonna add a little bit of glue along the edges, like so. And then we are going to line it up onto our sentiment die cut. Just move that there. Here we go. Again, lines up beautifully. Just helps to frame. I mean, look at the difference when you frame it. That one just has too much white space, positive space, and now it just is more grounded. It just, I just think it helps a lot when you have those smaller sentiments to look like they belong a little bit better than having that big old wide open area on there. And now we're just going to repeat for our second one. Cut this color to match the other stripes. So like so. And then what we're gonna do, this is all dry by now, we want to kind of figure out where we are going to be positioning our hearts so that we know where we want to tuck under that. Because I don't want this big old white part to show through. I just want it to be, and we're going to be able to pop dot the one part here. And I just kind of want it to be like so. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my foam tape really quick. That way it's just balanced a little bit so that I can plan a little bit better where I'm going to be positioning them. So I'm just going to take some pop dots or pop squares because I think we need to double it. Yeah, so it's going to need to be a double, double pop. So it now will line up with our frame, because that frame is double high from the chipboard. And now I'm just going to do the same on my other frame, like so. So double it up. Okay, so now I can plan it a little bit better of how I want it to be, like that. And then I'm going to have this covering over here. I'm going to push these in just a little bit more, I think, like so. Okay, so it's going to be something like that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go grab a spare piece of anything that you have just to help so that I know where I'm gonna be putting down my glue. And I'm just going to go ahead and get this heart down on these two pieces here, since I know they're gonna go like so. And then I can go ahead and remove, go ahead and glue this one like that. Okay. And now I'm gonna go ahead and grab this pink one. Get it glued on there. Put that into position. And now I'll be ready to go ahead and remove my foam taping in the back here and get my glue on the back side of the heart there. And I just want to line up and tack down. And there we have our little tacks. And then just to jazz it up a little bit, we're gonna grab some jelly dots. We have these in several colors. They should be all back in stock by the time this video is airing. And we just wanna grab like three of our dots, maybe 4. Let's see when we start playing where we're gonna put them. Let's see if we put, and I'm putting them on the white part. Wait, is that the flats? There we go. And on these jelly dots, one side is flattened and the other is like a ball. So they really just glue down nice. Actually, let's put this one there. I think we're gonna do it like so. And all it takes is a super small dot of glue. Make sure you have the flat side down. And again, if you're using clear drying glue, I just love these little jelly dots. They just add a nice little bit of color and dimension for your cards. Okay, so we only ended up using the 3 instead of 4. So let me put this one away, and a couple of them, just like that stray heart, escaped my bag off camera. And then here we have our shaker non-traditional colors, but fun. So this one just is the We Fit. This one has the extra little I love you. So these are, again, different Valentine style cards that you can make just using your Slimlines and dies. So we did absolutely none of our chibi kid coloring on them, but we got 3 completely different, super fast to put together Slimlines. So again, this one is nice and 3-dimensional. It doesn't catch on camera that well, but I love this one's probably my favorite because I just love the borders on it, and then I love the colors on there. So I appreciate you spending this time with me for our Expo special. If you just go to the website and go into the product categories, you'll see one that says Expo Specials, and we will have the products that we used on there on a special discount for you that will include the builder dies. Again, the builder dies, the 5 different slimline dies that we carry. Again, we use this one on the project. This is the one here with the doubled up frame, and then we use the chevron on our one on the bottom. And then we'll also have our shaker basics on sale for you, and we will also have our slimline card bases with matching envelopes and the embellishments. So have a great day. Thank you again for joining us. I hope you liked our presentation, and we will see you around. Make sure to also stop by our Facebook group, Stamp Anything Stampers, where we do color along videos, lots of lives over there with different techniques, and lots of fun. Okay, thanks guys. Have a good one. Bye.